Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment, baby. Views from the 22 live on the scene Monday. Blues and past dues. Mo Schefter, Vic Jr. We got a jam-packed, 20-minute show for you tonight. So sit tight, buckle up. We're going to go over midnight views. We're going to give our biggest takeaways from Sunday and then a little pregame for the action tonight. Vic Jr., talk to the people, man. How you feeling?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Going to let the people roll in little by little. I'm trying to check into our live right now. Just got the notification. I hope everybody has their notification as well. That'd be great, phenomenal. I know we have a lot of support in our group. Thanks to shout out to everybody who supports. We got a little last minute, quick 20 minutes. We could talk a little bit of football. Hey man, it was another fun week. Those matchups were pretty, fascinating. What the Giants were able to, what the Cowboys were able to do to the Giants. It's unfortunate the Giants have some serious injuries, but it just looked like for a little bit there, quite a bit actually. It looked like there was a professional team versus a college team, varsity versus JV.
Damn. For
about 2 or 3 quarters there.
Okay.
Shout out to KG who just jumped on with us. What else? Yeah, last night's game, man. Listen.
Yeah. We're gonna get to it. Let's get to it.
Okay.
Let's jump into it. So obviously we gotta start with the midnight views. Midnight views posted every Sunday at midnight, except last Sunday. Y'all gotta forgive me for last Sunday. But not to miss one every couple for 5 years. Let's get started. Ready? Let's go right into it. Kickers were spooked in week 5. Let's review. Jets had Falcons from London. Falcons won 27-20. Hey, man, not even Jets fans woke up early to watch that game. Broncos at Steelers. Steelers won that game 27-19. Late push by Denver. The Steelers, they have a formula to win. Unfortunately, that formula is not going to translate to too many wins in today's football league, man. Just not going to happen. Lions at Vikings. Vikings won that one on a game-winning field goal, 19-17. Imagine a reoccurring nightmare. That's what it's like being a Lions fan. Saints at FC Washington. Saints went in there and they beat them. Solid team for the Saints. Just my opinion here. Would not shock me to see the Saints explore trade options for Michael Thomas. Dolphins at Buccaneers. The world champs took care of business at home, winning 45-17. They are nearly unbeatable at home. And if AB keeps playing like 2016 AB, they're going to be unbeatable anywhere on God's green earth. Patriots at Texans. Mac Jones just keeps growing. Clutch win, clutch fourth quarter, game-winning type performance. Good for him. Packers at Bengals. Everybody was talking about this one. Packers finally decided to win that game in overtime, 25-22. There were 5 missed field goals in the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter and overtime. Vic, I told Trav this. It has been a long time since a game agitated my soul. This game agitated my soul. I stopped watching football after this. I went and took a nap. Didn't wake up till about the score was 42-35 in the Browns-Chargers game. I'm dead serious too. Speaking of agitation, the Panthers fall to the Eagles 21-18. Listen, man, Sam Darnold should have won this game. Matter of fact, he needed to win this game. Unfortunately, it left us all wondering one thing. When you're a Jet all the way? Come on, son. Titans at Jaguars. Titans grinded a win out against Urban Meyer's Jaguars 37-19. Browns at Chargers. We talked about it just a little while ago. Chargers won that game 47-42. Vic, 41 total points scored in the fourth quarter of that game. 26 by the Chargers. For the Browns, 530 yards of offense, no turnovers, and 1 L for the Cleveland Browns. Epic game all around, though. Salute to the players. Bears at the Raiders. 20-9. Bears won that game. Mac and the Bears rolled into Vegas and made the Raiders look like craps. Yeah, that's a punch. Shout out to Vegas. Giants at Cowboys, 44-20. Cowboys won that one. Dak looks good. Zeke looks good. And the Giants look like a team with some Jason Garrett influence. 49ers at Cardinals. Cardinals 17-10. Vic, ironically, this was the most impressive performance I've seen all year from Arizona. A plot twist I was not expecting. J.J. Watt having a vintage performance. Can he keep that up? And then the Bills and the Chiefs finally decided to end that game. Bills routed the Chiefs 38-20, and it wasn't even that close. The Chiefs as a staff, label, and crew all got to run laps this week, including Andy Reid. Passing yards leader from yesterday, Tom Brady, number 1, Justin Herbert, number 2, Matt Stafford from Thursday at number 3, Brady, the only one with over 400 yards. Nick Chubb, James Robinson, and Derrick Henry each over had 130. Nick Chubb had over 160. Devontae Adams, 11 catches, 206 yards. The rookie Kadarius Toney broke Odell Beckham's rookie record, caught 10 balls, and went for 189 yards. And then Justin Herbert, the fantasy king from yesterday. Vic, your thoughts, brother?
Yeah, Kadarius had a good game until he decided to punch somebody in the helmet, but
that's
another
okay.
topic.
That's okay.
That's another topic for another day. Took a little bit of notes off of your midnight views. I mean, the Packers-Bengals game, y'all say y'all didn't like it when we jumped on the chat. Man, that game was a classic for me. Besides that last 4 minutes when those kickers decided not to do their job, literally their only job, that drive by the Bengals to tie the game at 22 was impressive. Joe Burrow was spot on. Jamar Chase, as a rookie already dominating quarterbacks. Joe Mixon, Samaje Perine running some good balls. Had some good carries. Like that was, and then they had to get a 2-point conversion too with T. Higgins. So that was an unbelievable drive. I want to see it on film. That was just epic. Obviously, I was hoping the Bengals could take out the Packers, but Aaron Rodgers and them was able to win it. Let's see, like Derrick Henry, like you said, most valuable player that's not a quarterback. That dude is an unbelievable. Like that offensive line is great, but he's doing things that if he was not on that team. There's not many running backs that can replace him. Obviously we have the elites with Zeke, with Chubb, but that dude is different. The Tennessee Titans definitely need him. 30 touches a game is incredible. And he's obviously has the body and the frame to do it. Baker versus Herbert, man, listen, 2 of my favorite quarterbacks in the past 4 or 5 years in the draft since we've been doing, the scouting stuff more heavily. And Herbert just clearly is the better quarterback at this stage. Baker still has, I like to tell people about Baker's beginning because he wasn't a D1 prospect. He wasn't a guy that they went to his high school and said, we need him. He had to grind his way to the top. Then, to me, his progressions at each level is slower than others.
Sure.
So I still see upside in his game. But right now, Herbert is just a lot further in his development, and he showed it. And I'm sorry, man. Listen, Bills and Chiefs, give me Josh Allen and Justin Herbert over Pat Mahomes right now. I don't care what anybody got to say, but let's stop that baby. Let's cut that little baby goat talk.
Wait a minute. I had to enter full screen mode for that one. You said what?
Get out of here. Give me Josh and Justin, man.
Boy, you better never pull up the Jones drive-through talking that talk. Good. I say that to you. Hey man, shout out to everybody in the comments. Dennis in the comment, KG in the comment, First Lady in the comment section, Trav in the comment section. Yeah, I don't know, Trav. Listen, Justin Herbert is balling. So I will take Justin Herbert over Josh Allen. I'll tell you that much. But I am not taking anybody of those guys over Pat Mahomes. I'm just not doing it. Now, Justin Herbert is approaching the conversation. There is no denying he is approaching the conversation. Because if somebody put a gun in my head and said, who's the better pocket passer, Mahomes or Herbert, I'd probably take Herbert. And that's the truth.
How about Burrow then? Put Allen aside. How about Burrow?
Agree. Why do you think that game agitated my soul? Burrow won that game 3 times, bro. Burrow won that game 3 times. Zach, Listen, man, I don't know if you're like 29, 30, 31. When you're standing there as a head coach, you look like you still got some Similac behind your ears. You need to let you cojones hang, brother. You need to take some tips from Urban Meyer and just show them out. Okay, because you had situations where it was 3rd and 3, and you decided to kick 2 50-plus yard field goals. Yes. When you see what's going on with the kicker's energy, I don't know how the Mercury retrograde affected kickers, but it certainly is having an effect on these kickers. So there was no reason to kick a 55-yarder and a 54-yarder, whatever the other one was. Like you had an offense that was clicking. You had a quarterback with all the confidence in the world. You had 2 running backs that was able to get you any yards you needed for 60 minutes plus. Why are you not going with it? Why are you not rolling the dice? So I think, truthfully, Zach Taylor, I think that loss falls squarely on his shoulder. Just my humble opinion on that one. Right. But that's what I think agitated my soul.
Burrow did make a questionable decision there in terms of trying to go for that 3rd down run. It looked like at one point he was done again. That was scary. A couple other quarterbacks did as well. Trey Lance, I heard, took a big shot too. But there was some plays that, even though they were running the ball, there was also a drive that they stalled because they decided to run it on 3rd and 4. Okay, instead of passing it, when the passing game was just basically dominant all game long. So, it's there's some kids, man. There's some kids that the quarterback position is in good hands for the next 10 years. Okay, Great. And that includes Tom Brady because he might play another 10 years. But no, I mean, hey, listen, I just think, Mo, and this is another topic, it could be a long other show. But I think when I look at the Chiefs offense, when I look at the toys, when I look at the coach, there's a lot of quarterbacks that you could just plug in that little, behind center.
Yeah,
do a damn good job on that team too.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But we're not going to get into all those hypothetical scenarios. Okay. We got about 9 minutes till kickoff, so let's just dive into this game. Over under in this one, Vic, 46.5. The Ravens are favored by 7.5 points. I'm going to just tell you off the bat, Vic, I'm taking the Colts with the points. I know Baltimore's flying high. I know Baltimore is scoring whatever many points they're scoring per game and all that stuff. But I know the Colts have not been what they were supposed to be so far, right. But it's still early. So all these rankings and statistics and analytics and what have yous don't really matter. They never really matter. I mean, there is a small part of it that is interesting. Well, there's a lot of it that's interesting. There's a small part of it that's actually valuable in terms of how you're going to judge of the success of a football team. So yeah, across the board, the Baltimore Ravens look better, Vic. Baltimore, in terms of roster, in terms of efficiency, red zone, 3rd down on both sides of the ball, special teams, health, you name it, But the Colts, I mean, this isn't saying much, but this is probably the healthiest they've been all year because they actually have guys who are back. They actually have Carson Wentz feeling better. They got their running backs getting into more of that football mode. So I think the Colts are coming in here with some pretty good momentum against a solid football team. I still think the Colts can make a push for the playoffs. And I think this game tonight is a prime opportunity for them to show them, make a statement. Hey, we matter in the AFC as well because they have the roster. They even have the quarterback, despite his whatever you want to call it, the way he's been trending the last few years, mainly due to injuries and being in a toxic situation. So they got the players, they got the coach, they got the foundation. They got the players, they got the quarterback, they got the foundation. As far as the head coach, jury's still out. As how is Frank Reich as a head coach? We know how he is as a quarterback coach. We know how he is as an offensive coordinator. We know how he is as a backup quarterback. What we don't know is how he is as a head coach. And that's a whole different seat to be seated in. So I think the Colts come in with some good momentum, and I think they have some things they can take advantage of, particularly in the run game, both sides. I know that's crazy to say against the Baltimore Ravens, but I think they have the athletes and they have the depth on the defensive side. And then the offensive side, they got the beef to go up against anybody. So I think it's going to be a much closer matchup than what people are anticipating. Good, Vic.
Yeah, so I mean, the injury report for the Colts first: Braden Smith, the right tackle, will be out. Jordan Wilkins, running back, is out. Kwity Paye, who has been an outstanding rookie addition to them. I think there's, if I'm not mistaken, there was their first round pick. Defensive end, hamstring is out. So they got some beef missing right now. This is a tough one for me to pick, man, because like you said, like the talent on the Colts on both sides of the ball is tremendous. Carson Wentz is looking better little by little. The progress is slow. They need to just establish that running game. They need to really establish that running game. I think that the Ravens can be run on. They have the athletes, like you said, but the Colts are just much more physical up front. So I mean, they need to establish the run, and with Jonathan Taylor, and hopefully just keep the Lamar Jackson off the field. Lamar, he grew up in that Raiders game. To me, I thought it was a tremendous performance by him. He has some questionable throws, but then you go to the Detroit game and you see the film on the Detroit game, more questionable throws, more questionable decisions, barely made plays except in the running game. So, I mean, we'll see. I picked the Ravens to be one of the last two teams in that division. So far, they kind of proven me wrong in certain situations. So we'll see what happens. I haven't made a decision on this game, man. This one is tough. I don't know who you planning to get on the points and stuff like that, but
I want the Colts to win.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna make any. I want the Colts to win, but I do think Baltimore is gonna win. But I'm taking if this. I don't know what the actual Vegas spread is, but if this 7.5 is accurate, I'm going Colts with the points. Give me the Ravens 25-19. I think they got, for the most part, I do think Lamar has grown. I do think he's showing some football maturity in him. Flipping into the end zone is not part of that maturity, so don't do that again, please and thank you. But as far as everything else for Baltimore, I just think there's certain teams that will have a hard time beating Baltimore, and I don't think the Colts are in a position. Maybe in January they will. But I don't think the Colts right now are in a position to beat them. For them to beat them, a couple of things got to happen. Number one, when Lisa Salters is interviewing players after this game, the first two interviews need to be with DeForest Buckner and Darius Leonard combined.
Mm-hmm. Unbelievable.
That's number one. Number two, I think Carson Wentz needs to be smiling heading into the fourth quarter in order for them to have a shot to win this game. And number three, and this is going to be the most important one, and Vic already talked about it, the Indy has got to control the pace. Indy can't get in that game where they're just going back and forth, ping pong with Lamar Jackson in this offense, because eventually you can only take so much of all the running they bring at you. So you got to limit those possessions. As we talk about, you couldn't do that to the Golden State Warriors. Well, this is football, baby. You can do that. So those are the three keys to me for the Colts to win this game. But just for the interest of the competition and just being realistic and objective about it, I'm going Colts with the points. Ravens win 25-19.
Yeah, I mean, Ronnie Stanley is still the only one that's out. That's kind of a big name right now on their injured list. So for the most part, they are healthy, despite obviously losing the running backs. But I mean, they're able to fill those holes, with anybody.
Yeah.
So it's for the most part a healthy team in this matchup. This is tough, man. But since you picked the Ravens, I'll go with the Colts. I'm gonna go 28-26.
You know what's funny, Vic? Is I wrote two scores. Ravens win, 25 win. 25-19. Colts win, 27-25. So I like your score. I like your score very much. Well, we shall see. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. Dennis and Tanya already arguing. That ain't nothing new. The game thread is already up. The game thread is the link on the Facebook group that got you here. Make sure you following us on all the platforms, Instagram, on Twitter, And on the Facebook groups, we got Views from the 22. Of course, you got the Scene community page, Scene spelled SCEN, 94 Feet of Life, The Dish, Stoppage Time FC coming at you tomorrow night. And then The Dish is going to be coming at you sporadically as we are obviously in October. So just keep it locked in, man. This is your #1 sports channel on the YouTube, on these internet streets. We love y'all. We appreciate the support. Hope you continue to support. Vic, take us home, baby.
Amen. 2-2, Views from the 22. Thank you for